A prince named Jason is exiled from Iolcus. His throne has been usurped by Peleus, who sets a condition for its return. Jason must sail to the edge of the known world and retrieve the Golden Fleece. Jason gathers a group of heroes and sets sail aboard the Argo. These events are chronicled by Apollonius of Rhodes and Pindar. The Western esoteric tradition interprets the Argonautica as a sophisticated manual for spiritual transmutation. Renaissance philosophers examined these mythological narratives as containers for specific laboratory and alchemical operations. The voyage of Jason functions as an initiatory allegory for the great work. The intended result of this work is the creation of the lapis philosophorum, the philosopher's stone, a substance capable of perfecting base matter. This transition requires the seeker to isolate and master the prima materia, the chaotic raw substance of the universe, leading to the regeneration of the human soul. By decoding the mythological markers of the voyage, we can translate the Argonaut's journey into a sequence of spiritual and physical transmutations. The recovery of the fleece is the recovery of a lost royal inheritance, the realization of the human soul's latent power. The transformation requires a prepared vessel. The ship Argo represents this container, a hermetically sealed environment where the seeker's constituent elements are held in isolation. A piece of sacred timber from Dodona is set into the prow, providing the vessel with a connection to divine intelligence. This wood originates from the prophetic oaks of Dodona, anchoring the ship's physical structure to a source of higher guidance. The crew represents specialized human faculties. Heracles provides strength, while Orpheus maintains internal harmony. When combined with the keen perception of Lynceus and the balanced vitality of the Dioscuri, the Argonauts form a microcosm of the human being. These disparate internal towers must be brought into a state of cooperation. This integration is overseen by Chiron the centaur, who serves as the initiatory master and transmitter of sacred knowledge. Constructing the Argo and gathering the crew mirrors the preparatory stages of an alchemical operation, where the laboratory and the operator must be aligned. A seeker must first integrate these various psychic faculties within the vessel of the self before venturing into the destabilizing depths of the journey. Departure from Iolcus initiates the Negretto phase. In alchemy, this is the blackening, the period of trial, dissolution, and the confrontation with the shadow. On the island of Lemnos, the crew encounters the danger of comfort. Seduction and ease threaten to make the seeker forget the intended path. The battle with King Amycus demonstrates the necessity of discipline. Raw, unrefined force is overcome through focused internal mastery. The vessel eventually reaches the Symplegades, the clashing rocks that threaten to destroy anyone who attempts the passage. Passing between these rocks represents the navigation of opposing extremes. It is a threshold of consciousness where only the balanced and purified can survive. Surviving this crossing transitions the work into the albedo, or the white phase of purification and clarity. The Argo reaches Colchis, marking the entry into the sacred center where the sought object is guarded. Without the dissolution of the Negretto and the pressure of the Symplegades, the vessel remains unpurified and unable to approach the core mystery of the work. At Colchis, King Aeetes demands that Jason prove his worthiness through a series of labor challenges. Aeetes embodies the planetary archetype of Saturn. He represents the boundary of the material realm and the severe testing required to move beyond it. Jason is commanded to yoke fire-breathing brazen bulls, creatures that represent raw, unrefined passions. This fiery energy corresponds to volatile sulfur. In alchemy, this element must be brought under control before the work can progress. Jason cannot achieve this mastery alone. He requires the intervention of Medea, the daughter of the king and a master of transformative arts. Medea functions as the mercurial principle, the fluid, transformative agent required to temper the heat of Jason's sulfur. This union is a prerequisite for success in the crucible. The final obstacle is a sleepless dragon coiled around the fleece. This is the threshold guardian of the prima materia. The dragon represents the ego, fear, and the illusions that protect the seat of consciousness from direct transformation. Force alone cannot subdue this guardian. Only the cooperation of focused will and intuitive wisdom allows the seeker to move past the dragon and claim the prize. Capturing the Golden Fleece signals citrinitas, a stage of intellectual clarity. The fleece is the incorruptible light, the lapis philosophorum remaining after base elements are removed. Finally, the return journey and restoration of Jason's kingship represent the rubedo, the completion of the great work. While ancient Greek literature is not a literal recipe for chemistry, the narrative arc of the Argo provided a structural model for later Phomitic philosophers. This narrative structure persists in modern psychology. Carl Jung identified these motifs as the process of individuation, integrating the unconscious into a whole self. Jason's journey aligns with a unified hermetic cosmos, where the starry macrocosm and the human microcosm are identical. Here, the physical world and inner psyche are reflections of each other, separated only by concentric layers of perception. The Argonautic expedition endures because it serves as a comprehensive map of human realization. It teaches the true golden treasure is the realized, incorruptible soul.